What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news, and before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up, and if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. Now, as for some of the highlights in this video, I can confirm that the Air Jordan 1 High 85 Reverse Shadow will be released in summer 2025. Also, I have some new updates on the Air Jordan 1 High 85 Bred, as well as more 2025 releases from Jordan Brand. Now, also in this video is a good amount of news from Nike and one thing from Puma. And now, without wasting too much more of your time, let's jump into the news. Miles Morales will have another shoe releasing. This time it's going to be with Puma on the Puma Suede. The shoes feature a black, red, and white color combination, and going over the pair, they come highlighted with a web-like detailing and the Spider-Man logo on the heels. Now, the base of the shoe features black, and then we have white on the branding and Marvel placed on the tongue. Finishing the look is a white midsole and a matching rubber outsole. So as for a release date, this pair will drop on June 22nd. They will be available at footlocker.com and the retail price will be $90. We have another clean Nike SB Dunk Low, part of Nike Skateboarding's Orange Label series that will debut in spring 2025. This is the Pro model and it's known as University Blue. Now, the image shown is a sample, so some things could change. However, I did see a catalog scan of the shoes, which was on point to what's releasing. Now, these are one of the nicer pairs, in my opinion, part of the Orange Label series, and the shoes feature a University Blue, Psychic Blue, Gum Light Brown, and Safety Orange color combination. This pair combines suede, nubuck, and leather, while most of the upper is covered in blue. White hits the swoosh logos and Nike embroidered on the heels. And then, of course, connecting to the Orange Label series, orange hits the tongue labels and insole branding. Finishing the look is gum across the midsole and the rubber outsole. Unfortunately, we don't have a release date for this pair, but spring 2025 is when they're expected to drop, which means a release will take place between January and March of 2025, and the retail price will be $115. 2025, we'll have a few Nike Air Foamposite 1 releases that some may be looking forward to. I know for a fact the Galaxy pair is on the top of a lot of people's list, but another pair that's going to release is the Black Vault iteration. So we recently received a first look at the shoes. This is a sample. So since it's a sample, there's a possibility that some things could change. And the color scheme is simply black and Vault. So going over the pair, they feature the signature Foamposite build while covered in black. The same shade covers the eye stays, which is constructed with nubuck, around the heel, the booty, tongue, and laces. Now, allowing this pair to pop is Vault, which hits the mini swoosh, pull tabs, the penny branding on the heels, and the rubber outsole. Now, this is a pair that reminds me a lot of a shoe that dropped around 2010, that era. Now, I had to double check to see if something like this had already released because I swore it did, but nope. There was a Foamposite Pro that featured Vault, but that's a different model. And as for the release date, spring 2025 is when they're expected to drop, and the retail price will be $240. CDG Homme Plus has another Nike Air Foamposite 1 releasing. This pair is known as Olympic. Now, this collaboration makes sense since the Olympic Games are being held in Paris, and the founder of CDG, which I cannot pronounce their name whatsoever, is based out of Paris. So you might remember that CDG dropped 2 Nike Air Foamposite 1 collabs in 2021, and this pair will feature a similar theme, which comes with a marbleized Foamposite shell, and then we have black on the eye stays, which wraps the heel, done in leather. Now, speaking of the heels, we have CDG branding, and connecting to the Olympic Games, we have bronze, silver, and gold stripes on the heel pull tabs, which of course represents the Olympic medals. Now, for this pair, we don't have a specific release date, but they are expected to debut in June 2024. More than likely, they'll be available at Dover Street Market. And I don't remember the exact retail price for the 2021 release, both colorways, but I know it was around $500. And the retail price for this pair is $300, so they dropped them quite a bit. And I heard the reasoning for that is they received some backlash about the retail price being so high. So the good news is, if you like these, they're going to be about $200 cheaper. 2025 is going to be another great year for fans of the Nike Kobe line. And in 2025, the Nike Kobe 8 Protro, What the Kobe, is going to release. Now, there's something I do need to mention here. This information comes from Brandon 1N. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I still haven't asked him how you pronounce his name, but he told me that the shoes were labeled What the Kobe. Now, we all know that there's only one Nike Kobe 8 What the Kobe, but the last 3 digits of the style code is different from the original release. So, although I don't think this is going to be a different What the release, there's a possibility this could be like a 2.0 or something totally different. Now, again, that isn't confirmed, but I did want to put that out there in the case that it does happen. But I should have confirmation in my next news video. Hopefully I do. Now, for those that don't know, the What the series was very popular from Nike basketball at a period of time, but the What the series actually started on the Nike SB Dunk Low. Traditionally, Nike basketball, when they would conclude a model and get ready to move on to the next shoe in the signature line, they would debut a What the release. So we had the Kobe 8 What the that dropped in December of 2013. After this release, I don't believe any other shoes from the Kobe 8 released. I believe they just moved on to the Kobe 9. And this pair features a mixture of colors and patterns across almost 30 different Kobe shoes. Now, what makes this pair unique and probably one of my favorite What the from the Kobe line is that it features a mismatched theme. So I do own the Kobe 7 What the, and I missed out on the Kobe 8. I was super upset about that, but it's looking like there's going to be another chance to purchase. So this is great news, and as for the release details, unfortunately, we don't have a specific release date, but this pair is expected to debut summer 2025, which means a release will take place between April and June of 2025. Also, the retail price will be $190. Moving on to Jordan Brand, and we have new photos of the Air Jordan 5 in white and black. Now, I've talked about these a few times in the past. The first time it was a mock-up, the second time was a first look. The images were okay, but these are a lot better. And from what I can tell, it seems like a lot of people are excited for the release. Now, this is going to be a GR. I don't think they're going to sell out by any means, especially since they're going to release in December, and we already have a lot of shoes dropping in December. Plus, you know, people do like to buy gifts for their family, so this is a pair that may get overlooked, but you probably could scoop them up on sale. Also, they do look similar to the white metallic Air Jordan 5. Some are calling them a reverse white metallic. The white metallic pair first dropped in the year 2000 and then re-released in 2015. I would love to see that pair return as well. Maybe they'll do that for the 35th anniversary in 2025, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, the official colorway is white, black, cell, and metallic silver, and they're going to drop on December 7th. They will be available in full family sizing, so we have men's priced at $200, grade school at $150, preschool at $90, and taller sizes will cost $75. We now have new images of the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low OG medium olive. Now, for those that missed out on the news that I recently talked about, this pair was supposed to debut in 2025. However, they have been pushed forward and will replace the black olive iteration, which has now been scrapped. I have no idea why Jordan Brand decided to scrap that shoe. That was actually a nice pair. I like those way more than this shoe, but it really doesn't matter which Travis Scott they drop, because anything he releases sells out instantly. But just in my opinion, I think the black olive pair should still release. And this shoe features a medium olive, black, cell, and muslin color combination. So going over the pair, they feature medium olive across the base. We have white leather on the overlays, and then black fills in the backward swoosh. Now, they also come with all of the signature Travis Scott branding. We have a little bit of red, which hits the Nike Air on the tongue, and the heel branding. Other details includes muslin on the midsole, giving them an aged look. And I believe that's an olive rubber outsole. It's kind of hard to tell. It could be black, but I do believe it's olive. As for the release date, this pair will drop on September 9th, and the retail price will be $150. About a month ago or so, I talked about the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Rookie of the Year that will be releasing in spring 2025. We now have a release date for the shoe, and shown is a mock-up. However, you can expect the pair to look like this. So the Rookie of the Year Air Jordan 1 High OG originally dropped in 2018. That pair pretty much sat. And then all of a sudden, the hype just exploded for the ones, and the resale price was around $500 at one point in time. I don't know where it's at now. Now the market has more shifted towards the Air Jordan 1 Low OG, so there's a lot of shoes that are now going to release in low top form. And the reason this is called Rookie of the Year is that the colors used mimic that of Jordan's outfit when he accepted the Rookie of the Year award. So as for the release date, this pair is set to drop on January 11th, and the retail price will be $140. As of now, this pair looks to be a men's exclusive. I believe it was in the previous video, I talked about the Air Jordan Year of the Snake 2025 collection, which would celebrate Chinese New Year. Now, at the time when I talked about the shoes, there were 5 pairs that were known to be part of the collection. Just as a recap, those 5 pairs include the Air Jordan 1 Low OG, the Air Jordan 5, which will be a women's exclusive, the Air Jordan 1 Low, another women's exclusive, the Jordan Tatum 3, and the Jordan Legacy 312 Low. That pair will also be a women's exclusive. Now, there is a 6th pair, which I find a little bit weird because traditionally, Jordan Brand doesn't release this shoe until the summertime, but it's the Air Jordan 11 Low. So we have a pair that's going to release really early in the year in 2025. And the official colorway is black, summit white, and football gray. Now, I haven't done a mock-up for these yet, so I'm just using a placeholder photo, the same one I used in the previous video. And at the time of recording, the color blocking is unknown. And like I mentioned, spring 2025 is when they're expected to release. More than likely, they're going to drop in January. Usually that's when the year of or the Chinese New Year releases take place, and the retail price for this pair is going to be $190. This is a pair that I've been meaning to talk about for several weeks now, but I kept forgetting to write about it and include it in the videos. But I have details on the upcoming Air Jordan 13 Bright Cactus. So this pair is part of Jordan Brand's Spring 2025 collection, and the official colorway is white, black, and bright cactus. Now, the image used is just a mock-up. We don't know how it's going to look. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they look something similar to this. I know the Air Jordan 13 is a shoe that is now looked over. There was a period of time whenever the Jordan 13 released, they would do well, whether it was a new or old colorway. I think how the market is now, Jordan Brand would have to release either OG colorways or collaborations for them to do well. It seems that a lot of people don't appreciate the model, or maybe they're just tired of it because some may not notice, but Jordan Brand steadily releases new colorways of the Air Jordan 13 throughout the years for quite a few years now. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. If they do look like this isn't a pair that I personally would want. Sure, if I got them on sale, if they were cheap enough, maybe I would pick them up. I don't know. But the way things are standing right now, too much stuff is releasing, a lot of better stuff. Now, if you like them, don't let me persuade you otherwise. It's just my opinion. And as for the release date, this pair is going to debut on March 14th. They will be available in full family sizing. So we have adults at 200, grade school at 150, preschool at 90, and toddler sizes at 75. Throughout the years, Jordan Brand has released quite a few shoes celebrating Valentine's Day. Now, one of the more popular ones is the Air Jordan 1 High OG Valentine's Day, which I believe dropped in 2017. However, they have released multiple variations of the Air Jordan 1, and then we've had the Air Jordan 4 through the Air Jordan 8 celebrating Valentine's Day. But to my knowledge, for the first time, the Air Jordan 3 will release for Valentine's Day in 2025. Now, the image used is a mock-up. We don't know how it's actually going to look, and they're going to be a women's exclusive. I'm sure most of you guys realize that. But the official colorway is Washed Coral, Gym Red, and Cell. Now, more than likely, they're going to have some unique materials and maybe some different designs. It probably won't just be a simple color blocking like this. And the reason I'm saying that is because the retail price. You know, for an Air Jordan 3, typically the retail price would be $200, but for this pair, it's going to be $215. So, you know, Jordan Brand loves to tax, especially when they add some different materials or even a different theme. Now, as for the release date for this pair, they're going to drop on February 5th, and like I mentioned, the retail price will be $215. We now have a first look at the Air Jordan 12 in black and wolf gray. Now, I leaked this shoe months and months back. I did a mock-up, however, I mentioned that it wasn't an accurate mock-up of what was releasing, but they are pretty close to the mock-up. The shade of gray is a little bit lighter, and then we have black on the branding overlay on the lateral side. So, going over the shoes, they feature a black, wolf gray, and white color combination, highlighted with black leather on the upper. We have gray across the mudguard and most of the midsole. White fills in the branding on the tongue, insoles, and hinted on the heels. And then we have metallic silver on the eyelets. Finishing the look is black, gray, and white on the rubber outsole. Now, there is a chance that this pair is actually inspired by the Barons, since this year celebrates Michael Jordan's 30th anniversary when he played for the Barons, and we do know that we have the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Barons releasing, and the colorway does somewhat match up. But until I get that confirmation from the brand, I'm just going to call them the Air Jordan 12 Black and Wolf Gray. Now, as for a release date, this pair will drop on September 28th. They will be available in full family sizing. So we have men's priced at $200, grade school at $160, preschool at $100, and taller sizes will cost $85. If you're a fan of the Air Jordan 1 High 85, then 2025 is going to be a good year. Now, I'm going to talk about two pairs in this video, and the first one is probably the most anticipated one. It is the Air Jordan 1 High 85 Bred. Now, I talked about the release date in a previous video, but if you missed out on that, I'm going to talk about it here. And some of the information I did talk about also in the past, but some of the stuff I didn't. And shout out to Mr. Unloved Ones because he announced this on his Twitter, so I wanted to go over this with you guys. So what I did talk about previously, and he just confirmed once again, is that the shoes will be even closer to the 1985 release. What I mean by that is the overall shape. Now, Jordan Brand introduced the Air Jordan 1 High 85 to make the shoes closer to the OG pair. They're slightly taller than the Air Jordan 1 High OG, but this pair is going to be even closer than what we've seen. This, of course, will help celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Air Jordan 1. Now, the shoes will come with OG packaging as well as the OG hang tag. Now, the hang tag isn't new, but I believe on the Air Jordan 1 High 85 releases, the boxes, they are in red and then they'll feature black branding, but the Bred pair will feature the OG packaging. Also, the materials will improve. I think that's huge news because I know personally some of the Air Jordan 1 High 85 releases, the materials are hit or miss. Some of them, of course, are better than others. And probably my favorite part of the shoe is that they're going to have improved comfort. Now, I don't know the specifics on how they're improving them. I will say that the Air Jordan 1, they are comfortable, but it takes a while to break those in. And even when you break them in, at least for me, they're still not the most comfortable. I'll have some issues if I wear them throughout the day, but that's just me. Now, a lot of people have been asking if they'll feature aged materials, cracked leather, and things like that. For this pair, no. They won't have aged detailing. They won't have cracked leather. Now, I've heard some exciting things that I unfortunately can't leak just yet, and those things aren't 100% confirmed, so even if I could, I wouldn't feel comfortable leaking it. I was also told not to say anything, so again, I can't on that part. I do apologize, but what I can say is these are expected to be a GR, more pairs available. That is a good thing because we all know that people are going to get double ups, even triple ups. And then, of course, we're going to have to fight against the resellers. But this pair is going to drop on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day and right before All-Star Weekend. And the retail price is $200. Let me know if you plan on picking these up or passing. I know for sure I'm getting at least one pair. In summer 2025, Jordan Brand is going to release the Air Jordan 11 Low Bred. Now, in my opinion, this shoe is special, and I'll get to that in a moment. Some of you might remember back in 2015, Jordan Brand released a version of the Bred Air Jordan 11 Low. However, that pair was not true to OG color blocking. It actually featured red on the liner, which somewhat extended onto the upper heel, which made it a different shoe. Now, most of you know that the Air Jordan 11 Low Bred was not an original colorway. In fact, Jordan Brand never released the Air Jordan 11 Low as an OG. They did drop the Jordan 11 Low IE, and we wouldn't see the first Air Jordan 11 Low release until about the early 2000s. Now, some people may not know this, but Michael Jordan actually wore this pair during the 1996 NBA Finals. So this was a player exclusive for MJ. The Bulls would defeat the Seattle Supersonics 4-2. Now, recently, this pair did go up for auction. I believe it was Saturday, and they sold for $43,920. So whoever bought them, true piece of history. However, Jordan Brand decided to bring them back for summer 2025. Now, the official colorway is black, varsity red, and white. Now, there was some photos going around of a different shoe prior to leaking this. That is incorrect information. It's actually confirmed to be the Bred colorway. Some like to call them playoffs. And the shoes will feature black patent leather on the mudguard, while the same shade will hit the mesh upper and leather that hits the heel. Along with white accents, which also hits the midsole, we'll also have some red detailing as well as a red semi-translucent rubber outsole. So, like I mentioned, this pair will debut summer 2025, which means a release will take place between April and June of 2025, and the retail price will be $190. That is in adult sizing. They're actually going to drop in full family sizing. The retail price for grade school is $150, preschool will cost $80, and toddler sizes will cost $60. Let me know your thoughts about these finally releasing. I'm not a huge Air Jordan 11 Low fan. I do like certain colorways like the Space Jam, or whenever they do an OG colorway into a low. This, for me, is a definite pickup. So some of you may have seen trending yesterday and even today that the Air Jordan 1 High 85 Shadow would be returning in 2025. But I'm here to tell you that that information is incorrect. Now, the real information is that the Air Jordan 1 High 85 Reverse Shadow is going to be released in summer 2025. So shout out to Z Sneakerhead Z. Him and I collaborated once again on this piece of information. And I'm sure most of you know this. The Air Jordan 1 High 85 is reserved for OG colorways, player exclusives, and samples. So the Reverse Shadow was actually a sample. I'll include an image of that shoe in this video. Now, it'll be on the left side. The right side of the shoe is the OG Shadow pair, so you can tell the difference between the two. And you guys might remember back in 2021, Jordan Brand released the Air Jordan 1 High OG Shadow 2.0, which Z and I nicknamed. Now, the difference with that shoe is the shade of gray is a little bit lighter, so it wasn't really true to the Reverse Shadow color blocking. And everything I mentioned on the Air Jordan 1 High 85 Bred, with the improved overall shape, being more comfortable, OG packaging, and stuff like that, will also be included on this shoe. So shown is a mock-up, however, they are expected to look just like this. I can confirm it's going to be the Reverse Shadow, and the official colorway is medium gray, black, and muslin. So the muslin is going to give the midsole somewhat of an aged look. They'll come constructed with leather. We'll have black across the base, toe box, laces, tongue, wings branding, and the ankle, while medium gray covers the overlays, liner, Nike Air branding on the tongue, around the toe, and the swoosh. Lastly, a black rubber outsole completes the look. So typically Jordan Brand releases, to my knowledge, one Air Jordan 1 High 85 a year. Some years it's been 2. So far we have 2 set to release, one in spring, well specifically in February, the Bred colorway, and then the Reverse Shadow, which will debut sometime in summer. Now I don't have a specific release date, but with the release taking place in summer, it means that a drop will occur between April and June of 2025. Also, the retail price will be $200. Now, there is a slight possibility with all these new upgrades and stuff like that, they may increase the retail price. I really hope not. As of now, the retail price is slated for $200, but you never know with Jordan Brand. So let me know your thoughts on the Air Jordan 1 High 85 Reverse Shadow finally releasing. I know this isn't a shoe that a lot of people talk about and even know about, but I think it's really dope, especially since they never released to the public. If you count the Shadow 2.0, I mean, I don't really count it. The shading is off, but again, that's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down below. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now, I plan on dropping multiple videos this week, another news video, maybe 2 news videos. We'll have to wait and see. A couple of shorts for sure. I have a new series that I want to do, depending on how you guys receive it. If you guys like it, I may continue it. If it's a flop, it's okay. At least I tried it and you guys didn't like it, so I respect it. Also, I plan on doing at least one where to buy video. It'll probably be on the Nike DT Max 96. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that, so I'll have direct links and stuff like that for you guys to easily buy. At least I hope so. But for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down in the comment section below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave that down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.